In this screencast, we're going to talk about how to write a conclusion. Now, the basic purpose of the conclusion is to do two things. One is to summarize the main points made in the body paragraphs, and secondly, to make an overall judgment and answer the question. In most essays you ever read, you'll see that these two words are at the beginning of the conclusion. In conclusion, comma. Now, this is similar to how when we talked about connectives, that we use these two words, comma, then we use a clause afterwards. Now, for me, I would write something quite general about the topic. So, for example, I might say, in conclusion, there are many causes of cancer, full stop. Or there are many similarities and differences between different planets in the solar system, full stop. I would just do that to provide an overall statement which summarizes very, very generally what I've written about. And then in the second part, I would then summarize my main body paragraphs. And one good way to do that is to summarize the topic sentences. So, if I were to use this example, this essay has explained how smoking can cause lung cancer, how drinking and smoking results in mouth cancer, and how UV light leads to skin cancer. We can see clearly that I've probably written 3 body paragraphs with the topic sentences of smoking causing lung cancer, drinking and smoking causing mouth cancer, and UV light causing skin cancer. So we can see distinctly the 3 different topics that I've written about. Another way of writing this could be, throughout the essay, comma, smoking, drinking, and UV lights have been determined to be the main causes of cancer. So here, again, I've summarized the topic sentences, and I've linked it specifically back to the research question. Now, if we remember, all throughout this series, my research question has been, to what extent does smoking cause cancer? And all of the examples have been about this. Now, hopefully we can see that I've summarized here the main causes, and they're directly linked to the question. This leads me on to the final part of my conclusion, which is then going to make a judgment. Now, in the conclusion, it would be unusual in academic writing to see anything new introduced into the conclusion. So what we should do is use the evidence which we've already presented to answer the question. Some expressions which could be useful to do this would be, as can clearly be seen from the research, after analysing the data, or the data presented in this essay supports the view that. Now, all of these expressions can be followed by a clause, which, as I said before, is just a subject, a verb, and an object, how we would normally write a sentence. Now, these expressions are really good because it shows that we are drawing on research and data that you should already have spoken about in your body paragraphs. If you did not include the information that you use in your conclusion in your body paragraphs, I would suggest this isn't very academic in style, and that perhaps you should use this information to strengthen one of your body paragraphs. So an example conclusion might be this. In conclusion, there are multiple causes of cancer. Multiple just sounds a bit better than a lot of. And it's an overall summary of the question and what I've written about. Then I've used this essay has explained how smoking can cause lung cancer, how drinking and smoking results in mouth cancer, and how UV light leads to skin cancer. As I've said previously in this presentation already, these are the 3 different causes that I spoke about in my essay. Then, after analysing the evidence, it's clear that smoking is the most significant cause of cancer. The statistics from Cancer Research 2015 show that lung cancer is one of the leading forms of cancer in the UK, and it's a major cause of its major cause is smoking. Therefore, although there are other causes of cancer, smoking is the most serious. So I've used the evidence to then support the judgment that I've made. Now, this isn't the strongest conclusion, and you can use the evidence probably better than I have in this example. You could compare the amounts of the different cancers, so how prevalent is mouth cancer compared to lung cancer, and UV light and skin cancer. If we find that lung cancer is there's far more cases of lung cancer, then we can show that smoking is a more significant cause than both drinking and UV light. I chose not to do that in this case, but if you wanted to make your conclusion stronger, that's what you can do. You can see from the different colours the different parts to my conclusion. So in red, I've used the in conclusion and a very, very general statement about what I've written about. In the green statement, I've specifically spoken about the topic sentences in my main body paragraphs. The final part in blue is where I've made my judgment, and I would suggest that this is a good way for you to write your conclusion. There are other ways, of course, but this is just my recommendation. Good luck in writing your conclusions.